What is up, guys? This is a video I'm actually kind of excited to talk about because it's not from Korea. This is something from me. Other people have done this before, I didn't make it, but it's something I've been using to carry games so hard. I did a bit of research for this video and it turns out there are more high-elo players doing this as well. A few even in Diamond 1, like in the top 1500 players in the US, but yes, we are talking about Twitch, but jungle Twitch. If you end up liking this video, then leave it a like, dislike it if you don't, but comment with your personal picks like this, and also let me know if you want to see this in a full gameplay or not. So we're going to go over like why and how it works so well, the build, but specifically how to play it and how to crush games with it. There are a few reasons why I like this so much. The first is like it's an AD carry, right? That's kind of obvious. Like I play AD carry anyway, the mechanics transfer over. This is kind of like my play style in a nutshell anyway. The thing it means though is it's like very high damage, it's good team fight, and you can actually carry. Like it's very reliant on you, how proactive you are, how much you gank, and even if you do lose, which will sometimes happen, even if your team is bad, you should be coming out with good scores and good game impact still. I think he is actually good for any rank. Like if you do well with him, then you can carry a bad team. It's very similar to Nidalee, I guess, high damage and high carry potential. The thing is, he is like a mix of assassin and AD, which is why this works so well. You can snowball a game out of control, but you're very versatile in what you do. You're just like an amazing carry jungler. So let's talk about why and how this works so well at the moment. And the first thing is Twitch is already very strong. That's a pretty good start. Like we're not trying to make something work that just isn't very good right now. Part of the reason is because he can roam and snowball a game so well, like stealth through the lanes and catch people. Basically what we're doing already on an AD carry Twitch, but it's just easier. You're a lot like an Evelyn with that playstyle of ganks, at least I guess. The idea is very pick focused. You catch people alone and blow them up or gank lanes and snowball the advantage. The good thing is though that if that doesn't work, you're still very good in a team fight. The build we're using is also very strong, like insanely good, but we'll be getting into that in a second. But it's also just strong because it's good after just one item, two items. Like you're doing a lot early into the game, which is important in season 6. The good thing in my opinion is you have a better team fight as a team now, another AD carry as well, but you're kind of losing like a tank jungler, I guess, at frontline engage, but it's not too big of a deal when you can catch people constantly. The playstyle is definitely one of the biggest reasons that this is so amazing. You roam around, you burst everyone, you kill everyone later in team fights. It's very hard to beat, honestly. So the build is the other biggest reason this works right now and is so strong in season 6, and there are 3 core items: Blood Razor, Ghostblade, and Runans. So the challenging smite is probably the first thing. It's 20% damage reduction and a bit of true damage, and Twitch is a 1v1 assassin champion. It makes it even harder to beat you when you have 20% damage reduction. The true damage also just works like more poison. Both are true damage as well. So to give you an idea, at level 13 you get 44 from smite per second and 30 from a 6-stack poison, which is 74 damage per second. That's true damage. At level 18 it will be 54 from your smite per second and 36 from a 6-stack poison, which is 90 together damage per second. That's true damage. Over like a 6-second fight, for example, level 13 that's 444 true damage, level 18 that's 540 extra damage on top of everything else. That is actually kind of just like a little bonus. We don't really think about it very much, but it's very effective. Blood Razor is the biggest thing. So attack speed with your ultimate is perfect, but it's more the percentage damage. 4% is a lot of damage anyway when we're attacking that fast, because it's max percentage damage though. It's very good versus tanks and still decent for lower health targets, which is perfect for the mix of team fight and assassin. Your ultimate applies that to every single person you hit. If we hit 3 people with our ult shots in a line, then we're going to be doing so much damage, doing percentage to each of them. This is something I actually looked on lane Twitch when it was buffed because it synergizes so well and in theory is so much damage. It literally takes your team fight to another level. This is also what I meant with Twitch becomes effective after just one item. This is all you need to start doing some work, and it's only like 2,625 gold, I think. That's very cheap for what we're getting. After that, we're really looking for 2 things. So make our autos hurt more to burst harder and attack faster to get more percentage damage off. Berserker Greaves is normally what I get after the first Blood Razor, but then we're going to be going into Ghostblade. A good amount of AD, 20 armor pain, cooldown reduction, and the active 40% attack speed and 20% move speed for 6 seconds. This is actually doing both of the things we want. AD for autos, armor pen for both, and attack speed for the percentage damage increase. By the way, Ghostblade is actually way more disgusting than you probably realize, especially with this build. Something I didn't realize properly until I looked into it. Your Q gives us 5 seconds of bonus attack speed when leaving stealth. The ultimate increase AD in range lasts 5 seconds and your Ghostblade lasts 6 seconds. It is literally the perfect timing to have these 5 seconds of just crazy damage. We'll be pumping out so much percentage damage with that Blood Razor. This is really what makes us the assassin though. The 5 seconds is more than enough to kill an AD carrier, mid laner, whoever your target is going to be. Runans is the third one, so it gives us more attack speed but also the extra bolts. All 3 bolts will be applying the percentage damage from Blood Razor, plus it interacts with that extended range from the ultimate, so it's like even more AoE damage than before. Honestly, most of my games are over at that point. After the 3 items, it's just way too much damage and it's very hard to keep up with. So unless they get onto me, like they dive onto me and kill me, a tank cannot survive that damage, neither can a squishy at the back, and it doesn't really leave them with many things to do. As if that wasn't enough damage, we're taking further of battle, and this is insane as well. So the damage is on hit. That means it applies fully to everyone hit by his ultimate and the 3 bolts of the Runans. If we take the best case, so 8 stacks, that's 81 damage at level 13 per auto and 112 damage at level 18 per auto. By the way, I did round those numbers to keep it simple. Basically though, with Twitch's kit right now, after those 3 items in the jungle, we have the poison true damage, the smite true damage, the further damage, 4% max health damage. All that damage is applied on the 3 extra bolts and everyone hit with the extended range. Then we have the bonus AD from your ultimate, the armor pen, the AD from items, loads of attack speed, and 6 seconds of crazy burst damage. I don't normally go that in depth into the theory side, but that should give you an idea of why this is actually insane. That is an absolute crazy amount added on top of every single attack when we're attacking that fast and to multiple people. So let's just finish off the build stuff. So further masteries would look like this. Runes, I've been running AD reds, armor yellows, attack speed blues, and attack speed quints. To round out the build, we want to be getting an infinity edge at some point. Ideally, the ultimate can crit, which makes it insane for team fights. And ideally, we're getting a static shiv last with infinity edge. More crit, the proc can crit as well. It's just a crazy team fight. More Mortius is really good for defense, can kind of save us, plus give us some life steal. Last Whisper maybe if they have a huge tank, but this build is more about on hit damage than anything else, so it's not something I normally get. Maybe last item. Guardian Angel is there if you're getting completely boned. Blade the Rune King is some life steal, which is super good, plus even more percentage damage. Life steal is something we do actually miss in this build, but we can get Elixirs of Wrath a bit later to team fight with. Finally, skill order should be E, Q, W the first 3, then max your E, Q, and W last. So the good stuff, you can solo carry a game. You can gank a lot, you can burst people, you catch them, find them alone, snowball a lead well, and take towers and objectives. The build actually gives you a lot of bonus stuff, like it synergizes so well, it's basically worth a ton more gold to you than you pay. Kind of like Kale actually, like gold efficiency is off the charts. You're good with just one item and it keeps us getting better throughout the game, so you can have a good early impact and you can still help your team. You're very good at camping a lane. The biggest bad thing is you're kind of weak early, you can be invaded. Thankfully it's not that common anymore with all of them being nerfed, but you have to make sure you ward when you're taking your buffs just to be safe. The clear speed is not terrible, but it's not going to be amazing either, and you're still an AD carry. You can get burst or locked down and just killed very quickly. The last thing is if your team actually craps the bed like insanely hard really early into the game, you're going to struggle to do too much, I guess, but if they can kind of wait like 5 to 10 minutes, you can definitely have a big impact still. So let's go into the actual like good stuff, the how to play him, the early game. So normally you want to farm your jungle item plus boots, that's going to help your clear a lot, plus smite is really good in a fight. So you want to start to gank whenever you can, ideally having red buff, but you want to look for blown summoners, so if they don't have their flash, you want to look for some crowd control from your laners or the enemy pushing. Like you have a lot of damage, but you don't really have any crowd control or lockdown. If you get a kill in lane ever, it's actually a very good idea to go back over and over. Like you can set up a tent, you can camp them, you can make them tilt, and you're very effective at getting multiple kills in the same lane. You want to try to get a good balance of farming and ganking. As soon as you get the Blood Razor though, it's 10 times easier. Like your clear is very fast with it, and you can kind of do both basically. Every time your ultimate is up though, you do want to try to go to a lane and use it. Like you're very good at killing solo lanes as well. It's less risky because you don't have 2 people attacking you, and you're more about nuking a single target down. As an AD, you have a lot of auto damage, right? So you're good at taking towers. So a successful gank ideally will end in some tower damage, if not just taking the tower completely. But remember, do not just sit in the jungle and farm. Yes, you are an AD. Yes, you scale with items very well, but that's not what makes him so good. So I'm going to separate mid game and team fights, because mid game you should have Blood Razor and Ghostblade by now. You want to find enemy champions alone, like the enemy AD farming bot lane, and you should be looking to constantly find people like that now, or they're moving alone in the jungle and killing them. Getting them to come into Dragon is also a very easy way to fight, but ideally you want to extend the lane phase as long as possible. That means don't just run mid and attract attention as a team. You want to keep farming laning where you can punish people. When team fights inevitably come around, you should have a good lead by now, hopefully, by catching people and getting these kind of assassinations. Ideally you want to open with stealth, ultimate, and Ghostblade to try and do maximum damage at the start. It gives your team an advantage, and hopefully you get the first kill. Normally, just like in general, the first kill in a fight means you win it. You really do have 2 options though. So you can go from the side and burst people in those 5 seconds of having everything active, or you can stay with your team, which is kind of more traditional, I guess, good at dealing with divers and frontline anyway with that smite and percentage damage. The big things to really consider and to remember is you are a snowball champion. You get a lead and you use it by roaming and killing people. Sitting back is really not going to be that effective. You want to gank a lot. You do not just want to sit there and farm. You want to be going to lanes constantly constantly and trying to kill people and abusing that stealth mechanic, and use everything to burst people in those 5 seconds. Everything together is insane. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video looking at one of my personal picks that is really working right now. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you want to see a gameplay of this, but remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. But for now, we're going to go to the robots.